We don't necessarily use herd sires. We'll go out and actively search out the very best sires in the breed. And I guess that's something that my parents started. My dad went out when Angus cattle were changing from small-framed, fat, non-growth type of Angus. He went out and actively searched for a bull that would change the Angus breed, that would change his herd. And he found a bull called Big John.
Hello, I'm Pam Minnick, and welcome to The American Rancher. This week we travel west to the great country of northeastern Oregon, where we'll visit Thomas Angus Ranch, located in Baker City. Cattlemen throughout the West and beyond know the Thomas Angus operation as a 100% AI-based program that's highly focused on commercial ranchers. It is a brand known across the West for integrity and for keeping things fresh and on the leading edge in terms of genetics. Today we'll meet Rob and Lori Thomas and family and learn about the superb Angus outfit from them and those who know them on this episode of The American Rancher. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
No storm is too powerful for new Purina Wind and Rain Storm Minerals, formulated with ultimate weather resistance. That means more minerals in the feeder and available to your cattle. Wind and Rain Storm Minerals provide more consistent intake and balanced mineral nutrition to optimize herd health and breedback rates. See the difference at your local Purina dealer or visit cattlenutrition.com. Wind and Rain Storm Minerals, another way Purina is building better cattle.
A rep for Superior Livestock for the last 25 years. I like to use the country page because it gives me an advantage to sell these cattle for immediate delivery. Right after the first year, I started putting more and more cattle on there because the feeders and backgrounders in Montana and places wanted an outlet for those cattle in between the sales, and I've gotten along excellent with the program.
That's one thing that kind of sets the base for the country page is hard work, dedication, and when we get an upswing in the market, we really need to get these cattle traded. The country page is the way to go.
Do you have an outstanding set of quality replacement females with great genetics? Well, let Superior Livestock market them the superior way. On Thursday, October 23rd, join Superior Livestock for their Superior Select Replacement Female Auction. Consignment deadline is October 9th. Contact your Superior representative today for more information or visit Superior Livestock online at superiorlivestock.com.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. Thomas Angus Ranch is a wonderful Oregon-based operation that has been supplying tremendous breeding stock to ranchers and stockmen for many years. The program began years ago back east in the 1950s with Bob and Gloria Thomas, who started with a cow-calf pair and a herd bull. It's come a long ways since then. Few could have guessed that Bob Thomas's first cow-calf purchase for $475 and his first herd bull selection for $300 in 1950 could have ever evolved into something as large as the Thomas Angus Ranch cow herd that currently exists. Today, the Thomas Angus Ranch cow herd currently numbers in excess of 1,000 producing females.
Well, my folks, they were born, both of them, in Iowa. And grew up just on small, family farms. My dad always liked cattle. He really got interested in the Angus genetics and Angus cattle, and specifically registered Angus cattle. So, after he came home from the war, he started writing letters to see if he could get a job out west, and nothing came from the west. The only opportunities he had was on the East Coast in New York.
Bob and Gloria Thomas moved from their Iowa home to join forces with the wave of Angus enthusiasm and excitement that broke out among the state of New York breed leaders in the mid-1950s. During that time, Bob and Gloria spent time with Myron First and on the C.V. Whitney estate. Working with these two noted Angus scholars proved to be quite a valuable working experience, and Bob developed an eye for quality, a passion for breeding superior performance genetics, and the dedication to breed cattle that fit his customers' needs.
My dad was really a visionary. He really had a dream, and he knew that, he had to really kind of reach out to grasp that. And he knew that Angus cattle would be involved and that he'd have to probably not take, the path most taken. He'd have to kind of be a leader in the breed. And so originally, that was, going with genetics that was a little bigger and a little taller at the time that Angus cattle, were below our belt buckles, and then moving on to performance testing cattle and EBVs and EPDs and every step of the way he was always leader. He taught us that.
In the early 1960s, Bob and Gloria Thomas made the decision to move from the East Coast to Baker City, Oregon. On November 6, 1973, the first Thomas Angus Ranch sale was held, and from that day, there has been a continuous dedication to breed Angus cattle that fit with the needs of commercial cattlemen. Their customer base is diverse. In fact, some years ago, noted actor Jimmy Stewart purchased cattle from the Thomas program.
There was a couple points in my parents' life that really gave them their first big breaks. One of the first things that I guess that happened when they were just starting to build up their herd was the actor Jimmy Stewart came to our place and wanted to buy a set of heifers to take to his ranch that he was starting in Hawaii. And so Jimmy, along with his business manager and another cattleman, came to the ranch, spent an entire day, and picked out the foundation for Jimmy Stewart's herd. That was a huge break for my folks. It gave them not only the financial means to take that ranch on to the next step, but it also just gave them that little bit of spiritual boost just to go ahead and maybe put that much more into it. And so that was a really special time in their lives. The other point would have been the acquisition of a bull called Big John. That was a few years later, and that was when the type of cattle was changing from the small frame animals that we had in the 50s and early 60s into what we needed was larger framed, growthier type Angus cattle. And my dad was able to find a bull called Monreposa Big John, a bull that had extra frame and stature that we really needed at that time. It changed our cow herd, and I got our cow herd off to on a track, that we continue today, and that's meeting the demands of the commercial cattlemen.
Rob's parents sacrificed tremendously to build what we have here, but they were so focused on what they wanted for their vision for their business and their family that they just weren't going to rest till they got it, and they didn't. They worked long hours, way late in their life. They were always out helping and putting in that extra time it would take to make the difference, and that's passed along to Rob and I, probably to a fault. We want to get it right, we want to do it right, we want to do it the way it needs to be done, and sometimes that takes time.
Few programs can attest to being a 100% AI program. Thomas Angus Ranch feels that by ensuring that every female that calves there does so to a proven AI sire, they can better predict the genetic value of every bull they market.
We don't necessarily use herd sires. We'll go out and actively search out the very best sires in the breed. That's something that my parents started, and that's been kind of the key to our operation ever since then. It's a people business, but we still have to have a product to go along with it, and the product has got to be second to none. And so that's what we've done is we go out, try to bring those genetics into our operation, and genetics that are going to make a difference, and that will keep us doing what we love to do, which is raising Angus cattle.
The breeding program at Thomas Angus Ranch centers around a 42-day intensive AI program. In less than a 2-week period of time, they will calve 75% of their cow herd. Over the past 5 years, the embryo transfer program at Thomas Angus Ranch has expanded to new heights, where today they currently implant more than 500 embryos annually. Many of these embryos are implanted in cooperator herds in the area, which enables them to make progress at an even greater pace.
We can take, 3,000 embryos, and of that we'll get, 1,500, 1,600 calves, 750, 800 females, and of that we can take the top 10% of that and then build the next generation. So every year we're taking the very top 10% of that generation and building the next generation, and it makes an elite cow herd. And that's one thing that we've felt that this has really done for us with genomics, with all of the production information that we have, and taking these cows all the way through our system and seeing how their calves are harvesting or such. We're really building an elite cow herd.
Rob and I joined the operation in 1987, and when we came back here, we were running about 300 cows. We now currently run about 1,200 cows. So in the last 26 years, we've had a lot of change. We've obviously expanded a lot, expanded the number of cows we have, expanded our customer base, and how far we're able to reach into different parts of the country. And I think what we're lucky about is that, first of all, we were given a wonderful heritage in this ranch that Rob's parents built for us. And we're extremely blessed to have the same passion for Angus genetics that they had, and hopefully provide something for our kids to be able to participate in the future.
The original ranch that we bought in Baker was about 120 acres. My folks, they came here, with nothing more than the shirt on their backs and just a dream. And through the years and a lot of hard work, they were able to add a few more ranches, quite a few more cows, and over the past 50 years, we've built a fairly nice base operation, and along with what we consider 1,100 to 1,200 of the best Angus cows in the country.
Thomas Angus Ranch is a great family story about people who enjoy breeding Angus cattle. Each year they strive to breed sound, functional bulls and females that will pay dividends for their customers. We'll learn more about the Thomas program when we return. This is The American Rancher.
44 Farms is known throughout the country to have the greatest Angus genetics, backed by the most responsive customer service. On Saturday, October 25th, join 44 Farms for their annual Fall Bull Sale in Cameron, Texas. Now is your time to purchase elite quality bulls and females from an operation who is deeply committed to the beef industry. To learn more, log on to 44farms.com.
Well, I think a rancher has to be a steward of the land. There's nobody else that can take care of land better than a rancher. When we switched over to the Purina products, it was a step in the right direction.
The difference we see in the cattle is the consistency of their nutrition.
The cattle hold their condition a lot better throughout the whole year.
It does make a difference that we can see, day in and day out.
Join Superior Livestock for the Superior Select Replacement Female Auction. If you're in need of quality replacement females with great genetics, look no further. Superior is excited to offer such a select group that will truly enhance your operation. To register as a buyer, for more information, contact Superior Livestock today at 800-422-2117 or online at superiorlivestock.com.
What's in a name?
Superior Productions.
Reputation, integrity, creativity. What's in our name?
Superior Productions.
An industry-leading production company that focuses on its roots, serving the ag industry for over 20 years. We grew out of a need and blossomed into a leader. At Superior Productions, we understand that a name means far more than just some words on a page. It's character and history. It's lifelong endeavors. It's your identity. What's in a name?
Superior Productions. Come see why we're more than just a name.
Welcome back to the American Rancher. The Thomas Angus Ranch program has grown by serving cattlemen with sound genetics. It is an intensive program based on 100% AI breeding from proven sires mated to proven cow families. This approach to raising beef genetics is structured yet continually changing, and it keeps the Thomas Angus program on the leading edge.
We don't fall in love with our own genetics. We go out and we actively research and search out the very best genetics in the breed. We bring those in, we use those sires to complement our cows the very best, and then get those out to our customers.
Using proven AI sires as a base for their cow herd has given Thomas Angus Ranch the consistency that their commercial customers require when making their purchasing decisions. The program does not chase extremes and concentrates on balanced performance. Beef Northwest is an innovative cattle feeding enterprise based in Oregon and Washington. The company is a leader in the production of high-quality beef.
Beef Northwest has been in business since 1991, and we've been involved with Thomas's since day one. We track all the cattle that we feed, and we went back and looked at the Thomas cattle in particular, and they typically make $50 to $60 per head more in the feedlot than our average cattle. We market most of our cattle to Tyson on a grid, and it's performance-based. We don't market anything live, it's all hanging. And so carcass performance is critical to what we do, and it's critical to our profitability. And the Thomas genetics provide that kind of grid performance that we're looking for. We are really excited about Thomas Angus. They are progressive, they're results-oriented, and we are going to get more involved with Thomas Angus in the future because we believe in the program.
We hold all our wean calves over through the winter and sell them as yearlings, and we sell all our calves to Painted Hills Natural Beef. We started buying Thomas bulls 40 years ago. I think my dad, at the first production sale, started buying bulls there, and then we exclusively bought from Thomas Angus Ranch for the last 35 years. And we do that for the genetics and the breeding, and that getting back to Painted Hills and the high number of choice and prime that they get out of the cattle they feed. That's the reason that we keep going back there. We're real fortunate they're as close as we are to our operation. I mean, you could travel thousands of miles and not get a better bull, as far as we're concerned.
Thomas Angus Ranch, we serve our customers probably in several different directions. Number one is we have to produce a good product, and we have to produce a product that fits into our client's environment. They want to know that we'll be involved and that we're going to be there to make sure that that product's going to work for them. If a client needs assistance in marketing, we're sure there, and we'll try to fetch as much for his product as we possibly can. We also have our Buildable program, which is a program set up for larger cattlemen to contract their bulls years in advance. It's a great program for those cattlemen who want to lock in a price, and also it gives them the opportunity to come in and tell us which matings they want, which sire and which dam, and then we'll go ahead and use our embryo transplant program to make those bulls.
Well, I think in the West, too, we sort of have a unique situation as purebred breeders that our customers can run anywhere from, they're running a cow to the acre to they're out in the hills and they're running a cow per 25 or 50 acres, or they're in Nevada where they're running on big open country where the cows calve out, they don't have the ability to bring the cattle in, they have to kind of make it on their own. And like Rob stated, the Angus breed is very adaptable, so we're able to breed cattle to go into each one of those environments and thrive and be able to bring back the product that the customer wants.
We got to talking with Rob and Lori about if they wanted to kind of partner on a few things, and in a 2-day event Our sale is on Monday, and then we have the Thomas sale on Tuesday. We sell close to 300 bulls, so it's a great opportunity for cattlemen to come and buy the best of 2 different programs that specialize in each specific breed. We also run a commercial operation, so it allows us to test our genetics, and we use Thomas bulls in our commercial program, and we retain ownership on all those calves. So it has been a really good relationship with Thomases. They're great people. We look for many, many years to come.
I think the main thing is you have to stick with a program that you know that's going to work. Like we've been with Thomases for 30 years, and like the 500 head we finished, we belonged to a co-op, and they went up against 47,000 other cattle, and we were the #1 carcass. And we were the number 5th or 6th return to ranch. People don't believe it, but we only put our cattle on feed for 80 to 92 days, and they'll grade 96 to 99% choice and prime. Packers can't believe it, but they do it. That's because it's consistency breeding. You know, we're not changing, we're not reinventing the wheel, we're sticking with going down the road that we know that'll work.
I see Thomas Angus in the future fulfilling a total genetic service. I guess what I see is we're not just producing a bull, we're producing a bull to go into a program that's going to complement their genetics the very best. One of the things that has allowed us to do as well as we've done and to produce a type of cattle we really want to would be some really good employees. It is family, but it's also just some employees that have just stepped up to the plate and have helped us, attain a lot of these goals.
Thomas Angus Ranch has been awarded several prestigious awards throughout the years, including Bob and Gloria being inducted into the Angus Heritage Foundation and the ranch being named a past seed stock producer of the year by the Beef Improvement Federation. Baker City is the county seat of Baker County, Oregon. The town has a population of almost 10,000 according to recent census. Started in 1865, Baker City grew slowly in the beginning. Its motto, "On the Historic Oregon Trail." The city is situated in a valley between the Wallowa Mountains to the east and the Elkhorn Mountains, part of the Blue Mountains, to the west, with the Powder River running through the center of downtown on its way to the Snake River.
We've been super involved in the 4-H program and FFA, which we think holds great value for any child. And so we've taken an active role in one of our local 4-H clubs and tried to come alongside with the FFA chapter as our kids have gone on to be in high school, tried to step in there and be a support by helping with the livestock judging team and the various fundraisers they have throughout the year that we can in some way support the kids in what they're trying to do.
I would not want to ranch anywhere else. When the pioneers came over, and probably the ones that made it this far west were the ones that really stuck with it, and they had that fortitude, and they maybe had a vision of where they wanted to go. And I think in this county, that's the feeling you get. That's kind of the emotions that everybody has. Is that they're kind of can-do people, and that's to us that's very important.
We'd like to thank the Thomas Angus Ranch and all of our guests for a great show. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or check us out on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.